Welcome to the FinTechs, a chat with FinanceMalta Members Edition. With me today I have Carmelo Romano, Chief Technical Officer of FinXP, which is a member of FinanceMalta. And during this podcast we will try to answer this question: how being tech-savvy gives FinTechs a competitive advantage? First of all, thank you, Mr. Romano, for joining us. My first question is, how important is technology in today's financial services industry?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. I remember the time when I used to go to the bank to deposit money with a small booklet, and everything was done manually. That's a long time ago.
And they used to stamp it.
They used to stamp it, yes, and you have to make sure that the calculations are good and the balances are okay. When computers became available, then banks had to change to improve their services using computers, and that made a big change. Rather than having a booklet, then you can have a printout, and it's the service was improved. Later on, with the introduction of internet, people expected that services will be taken online as well, and after a while banks had to give in to offering services online, and this all came about because of FinTechs. FinTechs were the motors behind the innovation to offer internet banking, and later on also internet payments, credit card payments, which I remember in Malta was the taboo. Do not use your credit card online. Nowadays it is unthinkable not to use your credit card online because we buy so many things online and so on. So yes, it is important that technology has improved our way of dealing with financial services. It is more efficient and offering also more efficient and cheaper way of doing business.
And do you feel that technology will continue to help human beings' resources rather than take over? What would be like the difference?
So yes, technology always provides a shorter way on getting results.
Exactly.
So human beings are not very good at repetitive work. So for example, in the past, transaction monitoring, for example, was done manually. Nowadays we do it with dedicated software and obviously more efficiently. So there is technology is always improving the way we receive our services and the way fintech companies offer services to clients.
Yeah. And what differentiates fintech from more traditional financial services companies? Because let's face it, we still have the traditional financial services companies.
Obviously, the traditional services companies are important, and they are here to stay. But as I said already, fintechs find the gap between what legacy banks offer, and they provide the solutions required for clients who like to offer services that nowadays are innovative in their own way.
Can you just give us an example for the benefit of the audience?
Okay, for example, nowadays there are companies who offer a way to tokenize cash, for example. So a fintech company would be able to service this company and converting cash into tokens easily and effectively. A normal bank would find this, a bit too risky because they would have to dedicate manpower to monitoring this process. For a fintech, because the service is built on that issue, it is more efficient. Yeah, it is more efficient and rightly produce as the client requires.
Okay. Speaking of innovation, do you see blockchain technology playing a big role in the financial services industry in the future? Because in the past few years we have heard this word many times, and to be fair, we also have a legislation as well on blockchain. But what's your take on this?
Okay, so blockchain is was an innovative introduction on an already available technology. The innovation was that rather than have a single ledger in one place, the ledger, that is the registering of the transactions, is distributed with a large server base. So this makes blockchain unhackable. It makes it more efficient. So because you cannot have, for example, one server that fails and affects the whole chain. It doesn't because there are thousands of servers participating in the blockchain, and it makes it more transparent because the blockchain itself is public. So yes, blockchain is a nice innovation and a nice introduction into the financial services system. We can have, for example, smart contracts based on blockchain. There is cryptocurrency, which everyone talks about, Bitcoin and the rest, Ethereum, etc., which tickle the
So far, the reputation is
okay. So
okayish.
yeah. So blockchain, Bitcoin, for example, it provides new services, but at the same time new risks. I see banks would stay away from Bitcoin because of the risks involved, but FinTechs would embrace it, deal with the risks involved, especially with transaction monitoring, and provide services for example, exchanges to be able to transfer from Bitcoin to fiat currency. Okay, so this is where FinTechs come in, using the latest technology, innovating on it, and also provide the services that the common people look for.
Without getting into the political fray, when you say blockchain, we know that a lot of professions can benefit out of this, like notaries, like lawyers. They can all benefit from blockchain and financial services, obviously. But what do you think is keeping the people to make that leap?
Okay, so I think it's the confusion between Bitcoin and blockchain. So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that resides on top of blockchain. So if we put aside Bitcoin, then we look at blockchain and we understand that it is this distributed ledger where it is unhackable because, as I said, it's impossible to change records that have already been registered on it. And this technology is very good in the sense that it can be used just by notary publics, by contract registers and things like that. There is also the smart contracts, which smart contracts are give the opportunity to a contract to be fulfilled as soon as something else happens, and this would be automatic. So yes, in that sense, blockchain is a thing to look for and to try to implement into services to offer to the public.
We mentioned blockchain, but are there any other innovations that will impact the financial services industry in the coming months and years? Because technology, literally, like months, you have to talk about.
Yeah, computers are becoming very powerful. So nowadays we are talking about artificial intelligence, big data, and these contribute to new ways of analyzing the market and maybe giving advice either to clients or to businesses on how to deal with certain services. We heard lately that the European Union is looking at, for example, how to limit the possibilities of artificial intelligence. This is good because there is there is also always the fear that computers will overtake humanity. So it's good to have some guidelines on this, but at the same time, yes, I believe that we are moving to a better future where artificial intelligence will be a guideline for us to take the proper decisions.
Including the financial services.
Including in financial services, yes, especially for example, when budgeting for personal reasons is concerned. For example, with artificial intelligence, I can monitor what my past expenses were and how best, for example, to modify my behavior in spending to make ends meet.
Okay, this is a good idea for me, I must say. How has operating from Malta helped you develop FinXP from a technical perspective, but?
Okay, Malta, I know I might be a bit biased, but Malta is blessed. Apart from a welcoming country, we have Malta has been investing in human resources for decades, especially in technology, and now we are reaping the benefits. I mean, we find talent everywhere, and this is very good because obviously without the necessary talent, neither FinTechs nor any other technology company can move on. Even more so because Malta is a small country, we find that people are multi-talented. So in a small company, you don't need many different people with different expertise to operate in different areas. So you need less people because their expertise covers different areas of the business. Obviously, as one grows, then there will be more people dedicated to one part or another part of the business. Furthermore, we have the technology partners who are also well educated and offer very good services. They are prepared to go the extra mile because since we are a small country, we talk one to one, not entity to entity, you know, and this all helps with how good we move on in our development.
Here you're the expert. However, when you hear in the past years, we have heard the argument where we have seen employers and business people like you saying, listen, their technology is moving fast. The modern world is moving fast out there. However, we're not finding enough experts in the country, or at least, let's say, for example, university and other entities are not actually training people as fast as technology is going, which is a legitimate argument. However, what, in your view, what can be done more to get all these benefits that you just mentioned?
Okay, so when we talk about how fast is technology going, one has to look at what really happens. So we hear lots of news about look, we've got this new breakthrough in technology, but then a couple of months later this technology dies.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot jump onto the latest because it is the latest. We have to consider that, especially in financial services, that when we jump on new technology, it is something that is going to last. It's not, because obviously it will disrupt the client base, the services we offer. If I start with a new technology and then 2 months later, after introducing it, it's not available anymore, that would be a catastrophe for the business. So yes, we prefer to take it a bit slower.
Okay.
Experimenting and research within the FinTechs is done on a continuous basis. We keep on researching which technology suits us best, how to innovate with the technology, with available technology. And obviously, we don't have to go to university to do the research. We can do it within our company.
Okay.
So that is how we move on. That is how we improve our services and how we offer.
So basically, you're saying internal training is important.
All the time. I mean, without training, we can close.
Yeah.
It's a continuous thing for us.
It's an investment, let's
It's
put
an
it that way.
investment, yes.
My last question is, obviously I can't finish this interview without asking you about this pandemic that hit the world. COVID-19 has left an impact on this sector, and if yes, is it a positive impact? Is it a negative impact? What is it?
So for us at FinXP, we are a digital bank, not bank, a digital service. And obviously we can work from anywhere. So this is what technology is all about. You know, it gives the possibility to work remotely, and that is what we have done. On the day that we decided to work remotely, we didn't have to change anything. We just grabbed our laptops, went home and worked from home. Working from home, it's nice, but there is also the difficulties that you don't know what time you start and you don't know what time you finish. You're sort of at work, like online all the time. You know, it's easy to go and switch on your laptop and say, yes, I have to do this and that. So, but that is maybe the negative effect of working remotely. But the positive effect is that we kept on moving without any effects on our day-to-day operations.
Because you basically shifted your laptop to your home.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Mr. Romano, thank you so much for participating in this FinTechs podcast. I urge you all to log in on the YouTube channel of FinanceMalta to follow these podcasts. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.